Good afternoon, students. This is video 1.9, Tools of Geometry. We have these two objectives. We're finding distance between 2 points and the midpoint of two segments. Remember, when I see you in class tomorrow, you're going to finish up your trip across the country. So please be ready to complete those and present them. I just want to quickly again just talk about the two ways to find distance. One of those ways is to use the distance formula, and a lot of you tried to do this the other day in class. We know the distance formula is the x's, the difference of the x's squared, plus the difference of the y's squared, and we take the square root of that after we've added them together. So some people like that way. They're able to substitute with no problem. And then some of you like to actually have a distance, meaning here's a point A, here's a point B, draw in that distance and then literally construct a right triangle and then find your leg. So this would be A, this would be B, and you'd find C. So again, either way is fine with me as long as you can do the problems. So last but not least, let's just quickly talk about the midpoint again. And the midpoint is simply, hey, if I have 2 points and I want to figure out where those points, the midpoint is between them, I'm going to look at the first point, look at the second point, and then simply add the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, and divide by 2. And I simply have my midpoint of the segment. So let's take a look at a couple of the problems that you should be ready. All right, so we're actually finding the midpoint of this segment. So it says line AB has endpoints 2, 3, -3, and -4, 6. So let's go ahead and find the midpoint here. So that means I'm going to take my x's, which are 2 and -4, and I'm just adding them together, dividing by 2. My y's, -3 plus 6, adding those together, dividing by 2, and I'm going to simply get here, -2 over 2 is going to be -1. And then a -3 plus 6 is going to give me 3 over 2. So that'll give me 3 over 2. So that is the coordinate of my midpoint, -1, 3 over 2. All right, so the bottom question says, here's a square, LMNO, and it wants to know what's the coordinates of the midpoint of diagonal LN. So let's draw in that diagonal just to get familiar with the vocabulary. Here's the diagonal. A diagonal goes from a non-adjacent vertice to a non-adjacent vertice. So a diagonal could not go from L to O or L to M because these vertices are adjacent to L, O and M. All right, so let's figure out what the midpoint is, and we need to figure out the coordinates of these points. So L is located at, if I go up and over here, this is going to be over. Okay, so we have -6. 1, and then let's figure out where other point is. That looks like it's over 1 up 7. So that point is going to be at 7 plus 1, so that'll be 8. So now I want to find the midpoint, so I'm going to add the x's, which is -6 plus 1 divided by 2. And then the y's would be 1 plus 8 divided by 2. If we simplify that a bit more, we're going to get -5 over 2, which is really 2.5 negative. And then 9 over 2 simplifies to 4.5, aka 9 over 2. So I changed one of these to a decimal, and the other one I left as a fraction. Let's see if we can find the answer that fits. Okay, so we've got -5 over 2 and 4.5, which is our solution right here. Okay, so let's look at the secret hot question. Secret hot question for tonight is, which method of distance finding do you prefer? Do you prefer when we're distance finding to make triangles? You find that easier? Or do you like to use the distance formula? Okay, remember, you will need both of these skills tomorrow in class. See you later.